A review of the Gorilla Gadgets 11,200 milliampere hour external portable battery pack. Inside the box, you'll find a cable that can be used for charging. One end is a USB plug. The other end is a micro USB that plugs into the battery to charge, but you can also use it to charge your Android devices. You also get two connectors. This is an Apple 30-pin connector, and this is an Apple Lightning connector. Both of them worked. We actually charged our iPhones using this connector. We did get a message that it wouldn't work according to Apple software, but it worked perfectly. You'll find the battery itself, which is 11,200 milliampere hours, and a brief instruction manual. Point out that this battery is nicely designed and made. The outside of it is white, but it's a rubberized coating that prevents you from dropping it. It gives you a good grip on the battery. It's a very nice feel. The size of the battery, this is compared to an iPhone 5. You can see it's not quite as long, but it is much thicker than the iPhone 5S. On one end of the battery you can see a lot of different controls. First of all, there are two LEDs for an LED flashlight. It is quite bright and very handy to have with you for emergencies, looking for your keys, or for looking for a seat in a theater, for example. There are two output ports on the outside. This one has an output of 5 volts DC and 2 amps. This is 5 volts DC and 1 amp. And in the center here you'll see the input to charge the battery. It says to charge the battery with a 5 volt DC 1 amp source. I actually charge it with a 5 volt DC 2.1 amp source, which is quite common, and it helps it charge much more quickly, and that's what I'm looking for to get my batteries back up to speed as quickly as possible. In addition, there are 4 LEDs across the top that indicate the battery charge status when you're charging it and also when you're using it to charge your smart device. Here is a push button that turns the battery on to charge your device, but also to check the battery status. So if I take this and press the button, you'll see the LEDs light up. There are 4 blue ones. 4 means it's 100% charged. If one light is on, it means the battery is less than 25%. If 2 lights are on, it's 26 to 50. 3 lights is 51 to 75, and 4 lights is 75 to 100%. On the flashlight, I have to double press the same switch quickly. You can see the flashlight LEDs came on, and if I double press it again, they go off. Indications do not tell you how long these LEDs can stay on. That's important in emergencies, but I can tell you my experience that these types of batteries with LED flashlights, they will stay on for hundreds of hours. I think that's an important feature. If you're traveling and go to a strange hotel room and you hear a noise or have to get up, sometimes you can't find a light. Having this on the bedside charging your phone, it's easy to pick up and have a handy flashlight. Point out that you can charge this battery with your computer USB port. It recommends a 1 amp source. It would take 11 hours to do so. I would suggest even more. I recommend that you use a 2.1 amp source. It contains a lithium battery. It can be recharged over 500 times. You can charge 2 devices simultaneously with this battery. So this device charging an iPhone 5S. This has the new iOS 7 operating system. It does come with a lightning cable connector. It is a micro USB inlet on the backside that the cable plugs into, and this is the lightning connector. This is to allow you to be able to plug this in and charge the phone. Concerned on the internet that these types of uncertified adapters are not compatible. That's not totally true. I have their lightning connector plugged in, and I'm going to turn on my phone to charge by pressing the battery button. And you can hear it chirp and it's starting to charge. You can see the connector is working perfectly. The first time I did this, a message popped up, which I'll show next, and that will give you an indication what the message looks like. I just said OK, and the phone recognized the cable and it continued charging. This time you can see it started charging immediately. Here you can see the message that popped up on my iPhone 5S, which uses iOS 7, which says that this cable is not certified, but I have to tell you, it charged my phone to 100%. By testing, this battery performed extremely well. We used it to partially charge an iPad 3. We also used it to partially charge an iPhone 5S and also an iPad 2. I was able to get out of this battery 8,913 milliampere hours. That equals a 79.59% efficiency. That's an excellent result. That puts this battery in the top 10 or 15% of all performers I've tested. You'll be able to charge a brand new iPhone 5S 5.71 times completely with this battery. That is a pretty strong little battery. This is also an ideal size, as you can see, to put into a purse, your briefcase, or your backpack. In our testing, we started charging an iPad 3 from 77% to 100%. We then charged an iPhone 5S from 24% to 100%. And then we charged an iPad 2 from 3% to 76%, and the battery was finally dead. In summary, we were able to get 8,913.52 milliampere hours out of this battery pack. That represents a 79.59% efficiency, and this is an excellent result for this size of battery. I include this table in all my reviews as it shows the charging requirements for some common devices. This should help the user decide what size battery they need to purchase in order to charge their items. Just remember, by rule of thumb, you have to consider that 30% of the battery power is lost due to voltage conversions and heat generated during the charging process. In addition, your phones may not totally be off. Based on this testing, this means you can charge an iPhone 4 628%, an iPhone 5S 571%, an iPad 2 128%, an iPad 3 or 4 77%, an iPad mini 199%, and a Kindle Fire 203%. Again, as I said, this is an excellent result for this size of battery, and it shows the quality of the lithium-ion batteries inside this battery pack. I rate this product at 5 stars. It had excellent test results. It's attractive. It's clearly marked. It has a reasonable manual. I wish there was a little bit more technical specs in there, but I'm a techno geek. But it's a great product. It performed extremely well. This review is done by JJCEO. I'd like you to know that I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to give a fair and honest review.